Falcons fans, did we just witness the birth of a new era? For years we've been begging, praying, screaming for a defense that could finally carry this team, and last night, under the bright lights of Sunday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons gave us exactly that. A defense so brutal, so relentless, so dominant, it left the Minnesota Vikings gasping for air. This wasn't just a win, this was a statement to the entire NFL. The Falcons' defense is back. The Atlanta Falcons just put on one of the most violent, dominant defensive shows we've seen in years. Final score? 22-6. And trust me, the numbers don't even tell the full story. This wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty. It was gritty, it was ugly, it was dirty football, and it was beautiful. The Vikings had no answers. None. Atlanta's defense smothered them from the opening whistle to the final snap, holding them to just 198 total yards. That's not just shutting a team down, that's ripping their heart out. Young quarterback J.J. McCarthy? He never stood a chance. Atlanta's pass rush was like a swarm of sharks, and his offensive line was a sinking ship. Every snap felt like a countdown to disaster, as the Falcons' front four and blitz packages collapsed the pocket over and over again. And here's the thing, it didn't matter who was on the field. Jalen Walker bulldozing through the middle. James Pierce Jr. bending around the edge with speed and power. Leonard Floyd and Arnold Ebiketie hammering tackles like sledgehammers. Even Brandon Dorlus pushing straight through the guards like they were nothing but paper. The Vikings had no escape. Every player took turns feasting. Head coach Raheem Morris and defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich deserve massive credit. This wasn't luck, it was a perfectly built plan. Blitzes from every angle. Pressure on every down. It looked like Brian Flores' most aggressive game plans turned up to maximum chaos. And it worked to perfection. Just look at the standouts. Zach Harrison, 5 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 QB hits, a nightmare all game long. Brandon Dorlus, constant pressure, collapsing pockets like they were nothing. Leonard Floyd, veteran muscle, disrupting the line every time he lined up. And then there's the rookies. My goodness, these kids look like absolute home runs. Walker? A monster in the trenches, strong enough to bulldoze anyone in front of him. Pierce Jr.? Fast, shifty, explosive, the kind of edge rusher who can bend the corner and wreck an entire drive. And Billy Bowman Jr.? His energy and playmaking lit a fire under this defense. Add Xavier Woods' late-game performance, and you can see it clearly. This defense isn't just built for today. It's built for the future. Falcons fans, for the first time in years, we can proudly say it, this defense is real. What do you think, Falcons fans? Was this the single most dominant defensive performance we've seen in the last decade, or just the start of something even bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and rate your confidence in this defense from 1 to 10. Let's hear it. Billy Bowman Jr., remember the name, because this rookie is already looking like a star. He beat out D. Alfred for that nickel corner job, and now it feels like the Falcons may have stolen a future All-Pro right out of the draft. Yeah, maybe that sounds like hype. Maybe it feels too early. But after what we just saw, this kid is for real. Bowman was everywhere. He nearly had 2 interceptions, finished with 2 solo tackles, 2 assists, 2 pass breakups, and 1 clutch INT. That's not just a good game, that's a statement game. And the crazy part? He's not even playing his natural position. He came into the league as a safety, but the Falcons slid him into nickel corner, and he looks like he's been doing it for years. The versatility, the instincts, the toughness, this dude is a dog. And then there's Xavier Woods. He had some busted coverage moments last week, but when it mattered most tonight, he delivered. Fourth quarter, game on the line, J.J. McCarthy tried to force a throw, and Watts made him pay. Picked him off, waved goodbye, and shut the door on the Vikings' hopes. That's the kind of swagger this defense has been missing. Look at the full picture, 6 sacks, 4 forced turnovers, and just 198 total yards allowed. That's not luck. That's domination. J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback everyone keeps hyping up, looked lost. Confused. Overwhelmed. Falcons fans, let's stop pretending here. McCarthy is not ready. Stop telling me he's better than Michael Penix Jr. He's not even close. Tonight proved that. But here's the best part. The Falcons didn't even need offensive fireworks to win. The defense carried the load, but when the offense did get rolling, especially on the ground, there were moments to love. No, it wasn't flashy. No, it wasn't highlight reel stuff. But it was effective. It was physical. It was the kind of football that wins late in the season. And that's exactly what we're about to break down next. Falcons fans, let's hear it. Is Billy Bowman Jr. already the steal of the draft? And what's your confidence level in this rookie-heavy defense after this game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know if you believe this defense can carry Atlanta all season long. This wasn't flashy football. This was throwback, 1980s, smash-mouth football, and I loved every second of it. Sometimes you don't need highlight reel plays or deep bombs through the air. Sometimes you just line up, run the ball down your opponent's throat, and break their will. That's exactly what the Falcons did. We knew the Vikings defense under Brian Flores was going to come after Michael Penix Jr. with everything they had. Blitz after blitz after blitz. They were relentless, and you could see it. Penix felt that pressure all night. He looked rattled inside the pocket, forced throws, and at times just had to dump the ball away. But here's the key. He didn't turn the ball over. He stayed calm enough, made the right throws when it mattered, and managed the game exactly the way a young quarterback needs to in a slugfest like this. And then, the star of the night, Bijan Robinson. What else can you say? 22 carries. 143 yards. 6.5 yards per carry. That's dominance. At one point in the game, Bijan Robinson alone had more total yards from scrimmage than the entire Vikings offense. Think about that. One man, outgaining an entire team. That's superstar territory. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, deserves some credit here. Was his play calling perfect? No. But he committed to the ground game, and it paid off. When nothing else was working against that blitz-heavy defense, Robinson stuck with Bijan and let him carry this team. And boy did he ever. But don't forget the thunder to Bijan's lightning, Tyler Allgeier. A straight-up bowling ball with legs. Bijan is the fastball, Allgeier is the sledgehammer. Together, they give Atlanta one of the most dangerous backfield duos in the league. Their patience, their vision, their ability to cut back or bounce outside, it all clicked tonight. The Vikings knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it. And while the running game stole the show, we can't overlook two more key names. Kyle Pitts, quiet but effective early on, finding space before Minnesota started shutting down the passing lanes. And of course, the hero with the golden leg, John Parker Romo. Talk about clutch. 5 for 5 on field goals. Along with 54 yards. Ice in his veins every single kick. This man walked into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a Georgia native, facing his old team, and made Young Hoku a memory. Every time the Falcons needed points, Romo delivered. Kick after kick after kick, he broke the Vikings' spirit. This game wasn't about flash. It was about grit. It was about toughness. And it was about a Falcons team proving they can win ugly, win physical, and win when it matters most. Falcons fans, let's hear it. Is Bijan Robinson already the best running back in the NFL? And do you trust John Parker Romo to be the long-term kicker in Atlanta? Drop your takes in the comments. I want to know how high your confidence is in this offense moving forward. Not every kick was pretty. Some wobbled, some curved, but guess what? They all went through, and that's what matters. The scoreboard doesn't ask how, it just tells you the truth. The Falcons now have a kicker they can trust. And let's be real, if that had been Young Hoku in this game, are we even talking about a Falcons win right now? Maybe not. So hats off to John Parker Romo. He delivered under pressure, and that changes everything. But he wasn't the only winner tonight. You've got to give credit across the board. The Falcons' defense. The rookies. Jeff Ulbrich. Raheem Morris. Every one of them played a part in building this gritty, dominant win. And now, let's talk about the quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. I know the critics are going to chirp. They'll look at the stat sheet and say, he didn't light it up. He looked shaky. But here's the truth, he's a rookie. He's still learning. And tonight, he wasn't asked to be Superman. He was asked to manage the storm against one of the best defensive coordinators in the entire NFL. Brian Flores threw everything at him, blitz after blitz, and Penix held his ground. Did it look perfect? No. But when the moment came, when Atlanta needed him most, Penix stepped up. He made the clutch throws, avoided the big mistakes, and most importantly, he got the win. And that's all that matters. Give me this version of Penix leading his team to victory over a 300-yard stat line in a 34-31 loss any day of the week. So let's grade it out. Offense, B-. Strong run game, passing attack still needs work. Defense, A+. Relentless, punishing, impossible to ignore. Add it up, and this performance? It's an A. A statement win to kick off 2025. Falcons fans, for the first time this year, the dub column has our name in it. And next week? It's Carolina. A weaker opponent. A chance to keep this train rolling and build momentum. Atlanta, it's time to rise up. This season feels different. How do you grade the Falcons after this win? Offense, defense, special teams, give me your report card in the comments. Do you agree it's an A performance, or do you see room for more? Let's hear it, Falcons fans.